are spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. Both these guys are on fantastic teams and playing for Team Titan X. It is Bunny, one of the top Terrans in the scene. Every now and then shows some incredible brilliance, but other than that, a pretty solid player most of the time. And his opponent managed to reclaim the Afreeca World title. Now he's going to have to defend it. Playing for Team Clash. It is Elazer, however you pronounce that team. I certainly need, if Elazer wins this event, I will certainly look it up to find out exactly how you pronounce that. I will tweet at Team Clash, be like, how do you pronounce this? But as far as the builds between these two guys go, it looks like it's going to be some pretty standard stuff here. Hold on, let me just be a good observer and swap that there. Now things are the right way up. But I do appreciate everyone tuning into this Afreeca World. And if there are any questions or anything, or feedback, feel free to let me know. We're always looking to have a good set of players in these, so even if you have some suggestions as far as who you want to watch in Afreeca World, just let me know and maybe I'll try and find the player. So we have a Reaper coming out of Bunny here. Standard Reaper expand, it seems. The map is Blackpink, so a pretty standard map. Players do tend to go for some timing attacks on this map. As I mean, it's StarCraft 2, there's tons of timing attacks, but we do sometimes see the map really get split up, mined out. We have all sorts of variety in the matchups going on right now. Elazer, though, going for a pretty standard opening. Elazer is a guy who will do the same build 5 times in a row, and because he is just a very solid player, and that's one of the things I really like about Elazer, and that's one of the things that, watching him even before he really necessarily broke out, I'm always going to keep tooting his horn. Before Elazer won his big championship, I believe it was in Valencia he won, or maybe not Valencia. It was one of the European Dream Hacks, I believe. Yeah, Elazer, before he won that, he was just an incredibly solid player, and that's sort of how we just rose up in the scene, and now he's really shown the results here. Speed is on the way for Elazer. Doing good micro there, keeping those bruised lings back, not losing anything. Bunny poking out to the third base with the Reaper. We'll see where Elazer tries to expand. Looks like he's just going to take the sort of frontal third base, I suppose. It's a little bit more exposed, so to speak, because once a Zerg player gets their creep spread out, it's a lot easier for them to sort of defend if they take the third one. Does that say Supernova there? Supernova! I mean, he's not in this tournament, but that's amusing there. A player who's played in quite a few tournaments. I personally am a big fan of him. But yeah, as far as spreading the creep goes, it's not quite as ideal in this position. You can spread down from the ramp and then spread forward, but then you still have to spread north if you want that vision, then eventually south. So it does take a little longer to get the creep spread started and sort of out there if you do take the forward expansion. I believe that's as in-depth as I can go as far as group spread goes. As far as Bunny goes, though, looks like he's going to be going for this pretty standard Terran thing. I believe likely he'll throw up a third CC relatively soon, but just going for that safe Hellion opener, poking this base right now. Elazer probably played versus this a million times. It's just a matter of being absolutely safe. He's getting up a Roach Warren, so Elazer could go for something like a Ravager, a Ling Flood. We'll just have to wait and see. It's not too likely, I don't think, but it's always a possibility. Elazer is a player who can go for attacks like that for sure. We see these Hellions are trying to dive in. Elazer does, however, have these Lings in position. 2 of the Hellions get caught. Another one gets picked off by the Queen, so there's not really enough units left to deal damage here, so Elazer perfectly prepared for that, cleans that up. Now, we've got Bunny with his third command center on the way. He does scout the Roach Warren. Now, the question is, was that a safety Roach Warren? As Elazer's not making any roaches just yet, or will he use it to get aggressive? So far it's looking like it was just safety with him starting his lair. He's not going for any low-tech all-ins or anything like that. Double eBay on the way for Bunny, so he is playing about as greedy as you can. I mean, you start the third CC, you may as well commit. Elazer going for double Evo, but so these guys will be on relatively even footing, but now Elazer gonna have easy creep spreading, easy sort of just macroing up now that those Hellions were taken care of. Bunny really showed his hand with that because you don't invest in 6 Hellions and then commit them to the natural if you're going for something like a Hellbat timing or if you're going for something like a tank push. So Elazer, I think he knows exactly what Bunny's doing without even scouting this. He's going to run up the ramp now, see that third command center, and just say, oh, okay. Few roaches on the way, he'll know that eventually that stim will be finishing up. Medivacs will be coming out soon. So he will have to defend against that, but we'll just have to see what Bunny's able to do, because Elazer is a Zerg who can be very scary in this position, and it looks like Elazer will be playing roaches. I believe we'll see a Hydralisk then go up relatively soon, but he certainly can do that. Bunny is making tanks, but tanks can almost be as bad as they are. Oh, I really shouldn't be knocking siege tanks, but I mean, with a lot of roaches like Elazer plays, sometimes Terrans can just be caught completely off guard there. Bunny, though, is taking his third base, something that is an absolute must at this point in the game. Elazer will start a fourth base relatively soon here, I think. I mean, he's got a good chunk of roaches, so he's safe at this point. So really, the next step is to expand once again. Maybe throw up a Hydralisk den, but for now he's just content with these roaches, and it could just be a big roach timing attack here. Elazer, a small supply block, though, so getting caught up a little bit there. But here we are. As far as the build goes, it looks like Bunny is going to be using these Medivacs to poke out, but if he does scout this amount of roaches, he could know that he needs to play it more defensive here. Hellions are poking up. We'll see if Elazer, and Elazer's so smart, look at this, just sends forward a few roaches, but his hand sort of is revealed now. All these roaches have been seen here. Bunny actually going straight into the main base, and Elazer's pretty out of position for this. The roaches are slow to react, so we'll see if a Bunny can pick off anything here. However, a handful of roaches do show up, and I think he will be forced back there. Marines are going to try and focus in a roach or two. Elazer, such good micro, pulling back those roaches. That is the evolution of StarCraft right there. Just the players reaching such a high level in which they'll do something like that in the middle of a fight. 1-1 about to finish up for Elazer. It's already finished up for Bunny, so the players will be on equal upgrades here. And then Bunny looks like he's getting ready for his 2-2. Elazer's starting his immediately, but then he actually cancels. Okay, so Elazer is going balls to the wall with this attack, so to speak. Right now we've got Elazer just committing. He doesn't invest in that. He's making a massive attack coming. Did those Medivacs scout it? I think they may have, but it might not even be enough right now. We've got all these Marines are going to have to tank for these siege tanks right now. We've got another tank coming out, and that will be the fourth for Bunny here. However, this attack is going to be a strong one coming from Elazer. He's just committing everything he can here. He's going to be going for it. These Marines are going to have to stim to get in front to buy time for these tanks to get their damage done. So far, a good split from Bunny, keeping these units alive. Now, the Raptors are not too tanky here. Now, some tanks on the high ground and at the back are still dealing a lot of damage. However, Bunny is losing units. SCVs are pulled, which is a must at this point. He just needs to hold this attack, and he should be in a decent position. He's lost SCVs, but so far it looks like he has held. And this is Elazer going to be in a rough situation. He just committed to this large attack. He's taking damage. They're getting some good corrosive bells, but it wasn't enough. And as a result, now Bunny is going to be heading towards faster 2-2 upgrades here. And he's going to be able to sort of put the pressure on Elazer. He lost a good number of SCVs there, 18 in total. So he will have to start rebuilding those. But for now, it's going to be Bunny's game as far as making the moves happen. He does not want to overextend here. He's going to have to be too careful there, as Elazer did make all those reinforcements here. Bunny lifting up into those Medivacs. Does need to be careful. Round 2 for Elazer could hit in here. There's not too many siege tanks. Oh, there's actually 4 once again. Bunny has been continuous with this, but a poke could be pretty strong right here. These Medivacs may actually be spotted by these roaches and vice versa there. So here we see Elazer just looking around. He's kept up with his creep spread. He did get a 4th base while all that was going on, and now he's droned up to a healthy amount. So, but he is just playing this roach style still, and he's going to be going for another massive attack. He's going to need to defend this drop here, and I think he will have enough roaches. So really, the only thing that Elazer needs to do is try and get some damage done here. However, he's going for it once again. There's about 5 siege tanks at the back here, actually 6. So he can't really poke in there. The bio's doing a fantastic job. It's now got +2 attack, so it's got the upgrade advantage as well. Looks like drops have been continuing for Bunny. He may actually lose a Medivac there, but the Queens briefly lose vision there, so actually those units get out scot-free, but then Bunny loads up again, gets out of there. So this has been quite a crazy game at the start, but so far Elazer does seem to be staying ahead, even though it's sort of odd engagements. He's getting really what he wants. I mean, that damage he did to Bunny was enough there. But Bunny's push coming out soon could be quite a strong one. Elazer will have his own 2-2, so there's not going to be a fantastic timing or anything like that. We'll just have to see how the rest of this plays out. We see these siege tanks are actually caught by the Ravagers, or is it the Ravagers caught by the siege tanks? Corrosive Bow picks off one of the tanks, but a few units are bled off there, and the 2-2 isn't quite finished for Elazer just yet. So if he fights right now, that's actually a pretty big blunder there. He's actually kiting back, but now his 2-2 is done. So he will have that going for him, and this is a lot of Roaches and Ravagers right now. The tanks are sieging up, however, Corrosive Bows are going to pick off a number of them. They were all clumped up there, and I don't think Bunny is going to have the mass. He's just kiting back right now. And I think with that 2-2, Elazer did just manage to roll over his opponent. Bunny sieging up in the middle of the map. Maybe Elazer will overextend here, however. Bunny's going to have to do a fantastic job defending right now. That tank is dealing a lot of damage, however. Its days are numbered right now. The Roaches are pushing in further. Bunny is kiting back. But this situation isn't getting any better for him. A lot of those Roaches are bruises. Bio was doing a good job picking that off. However, Elazer's just coming forward with so much. He's almost doubling the supply of Bunny at this point. Right now we see another tank sieging up for Bunny. His precious Marauders are going down, though. Another tank pops out on the wrong side of town there. The sensor tower goes down, and there's just so much coming across the map for Elazer. He's going up to 5 bases, and I think he's going to have managed to bring down Bunny in what was a bit of a odd game, dare I say. I mean, as far as a normal TVZs go, that wasn't exactly it. I mean, it wasn't out of the ordinary there, but we are getting into it. Alrighty, we'll get into the next map. It's going to be Catalyst. So Catalyst, the pick for Bunny. Maybe he'll be a bit more comfortable on this map. It's not necessarily, it can be a bit of an odd map. I mean, nothing about it really screams perfect for Terran. Maybe unless Bunny is really planning to play that late game style, in which case it's still not even the best map in that regard, as you can be quite vulnerable at the third base, and that's what it really came down to in that game. Alrighty, both players are ready. We're going to get into the next game here. Thanks to everyone for tuning into Afreeca World. Really glad that you guys enjoy these events, and we're going to keep doing them as long as we can. And I'm going to have to learn Korean because you guys are just chatting up a storm here. Either way, we're getting into the next game. It's a best of 5 between these two. Spawning down on the bottom left-hand side of the map, taking the first match. He managed to sort of just hold on there, did what he needed to do. It's Elazer for Team Kailash. And his opponent playing for Team Titan X. It is Bunny. We'll see if Bunny changes things up that game. I mean, it's not like Bunny made any very poor moves. Elazer sort of, the Hellions diving in, maybe he would have been better off if he kept them alive. He didn't get any damage done there. It was just a poor trade at the start. But it's nothing too major. And then it was mainly just Elazer deciding to go for that attack. He canceled the upgrades, but then got him started again. Didn't make any missteps or anything. So really, I guess it comes down to those Hellions dying. And then Bunny maybe having to pull those SCVs. He lost just a few too many that knocked him down. Pulling SCVs in an attack like that can be fine for Terran, but maybe he just lost a bit too much there. If he had maybe prepared for the attack a bit more, say set up, had his Marines a bit further forward to intercept and buy time for the tanks. So it's hard to exactly say, but once again, Elazer going for the same build. I hope you guys are enjoying the tournament so far. right, Bunny skipping the Reaper this time around. Pretty interesting, going for the double Marine. Maybe looking to catch an Overlord. We'll see if he can. Elazer's Overlord is moving north. Bunny does seem to be on a path to intercept it. However, there is that line of sight blocker, so it may just escape. And I think Bunny may just have moved out of position just at the wrong time there. Not quite finding that Overlord. So his timings may have just been off a second. Because, I guess trying to pick off the Overlord on this map is a pretty bold thing to do. There's, that there, it can hide on, I believe, that will block vision as well. Bunny maybe just going to try and force the Overlord into another spot. Elazer immediately sees it, though, sending it to that spot. Completely safe. Alrighty, Bunny looks like he's going to be going for those Hellions once again, which are ever so popular with Terran. Not going for the Reaper this time around. He could always... He's going for a Starport, and it's actually a proxy, so makes me think it's going to be that Hellion drop, but, I mean, maybe this build works on ladder, and that's something, but the amount of pro games in which we've seen... I mean, I think back, I don't remember every single StarCraft stream, but, looking back, Hellion run-bys are not something that get a lot of damage done. I mean, just so often, because a player as good as Elazer, I do not see him falling to something like this. Maybe it'll work. Bunny's testing the water, but I'd be surprised if Elazer takes damage to this. He's a safe European Zerg. We'll just have to see. I mean, we'll see how he scouts. He sees the Hellions moving out. Maybe Bunny's going to try and pull a fast one on him. Two Lings are actually going to run into the natural there. That could be a pretty big tell, particularly if the wall stays down. Bunny raises the depots, but I think Elazer would have seen that there's no stamp. Okay, he didn't see the barracks there, so he's fine. But Elazer even getting an SCV there. And now the question is, will he be prepared to defend from this medivac? And look at this, Lings are heading into the main base. Queens are spread out, maybe not in position, but he sees this is coming. The Queens are off creep, but more Lings are hatching right now, so these Hellions, they're going to get shut down, and I don't think Bunny's going to find too much. Okay, maybe I should just not talk, because these Hellions are getting in. They're getting a bit of damage done, but still, so far nothing major. Elazer, good crisis management. The Queens are sort of the anchor to force us back. It's possible actually getting into the natural there. We'll see if he gets anything else. That medivac does go down, so these Hellions' days are numbered, but it is just this one Queen here. But the one Hellion, 5 drones going down. He disrupted Elazer a little bit, but his stim is significantly late if he's going mech, but actually doesn't, or bio, but he's actually possibly going to be playing mech here, going for a Banshee. But I mean, that was sort of best case scenario for Bunny, that working out, and Elazer just knew it was coming, and that's how much damage it got done. Also, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, by the way, anyone tuning in. More Hellions are moving out. Bunny, it looks like he will be playing mech. Double factory here. So maybe this is a build he practices a lot with the follow-up, but Elazer's actually moved out with his Lings. He doesn't have too much to defend from these Hellions. The Queens, though, do block there. Queens are going to have to reposition to defend from these Hellions coming around once again. A few Lings are in position. We'll see if these Hellions get in to find anything. Elazer not really reacting quite in time there. I mean, he sort of knew the Hellions were lurking around. Lings on at the front. See more of these Hellions, so Elazer's got to be pretty aware that it's mech. Bunny going double armory here. Gonna be looking to go into that siege tank production, it seems. Could always be a Thor, but the medivac being over there makes it not likely that it'll ever be a double Thor drop. So likely just gonna go into siege tanks there. Bunny gonna be very prepared for roaches this time around. This Banshee does get in. That Spore was out of position, so Bunny's getting a bit of damage done so far with this Banshee. Overseer does finish though. This Banshee will take a lot of damage from these Queens and may actually go down there. Does fall. 6 drones have fallen. In total, 11 drones have gone down this game. For all the harassment, I think this might have been worth it for Bunny, just based on the fact that Elazer's economy has been delayed. Not so much massive drone damage. I mean, 11 drones is a pretty significant number for a build, and Bunny is sort of just teching here. But we'll just have to see. I think Elazer's growth might have just been stifled enough with drone pulls and whatnot, but he's not in the best situation. These Lings could be caught by these Hellions. That's going to be a nice pickup for Bunny. They have to head north there. Elazer sending out one of those links to bait that shot. He hasn't found that starport yet. That was right above him. These lings do stop running though, so Elazer letting those die. He really should have kept them moving. Now roaches are on the production tab for Elazer. He's going to be going for another timing once again now. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get anything done, but Bunny did go right into that Thor production instead of siege tanks. So, as I was saying, he's going to be safe from these roaches. He might not be this time. This is a chunk of roaches here. Thors are very good with repair versus smaller numbers of units. But, Ravagers coming out too. Corrosive Ball is very good. The SCVs can't repair quite as well. These Hellions can't micro as well versus Ravagers here. All these supply depots are going to go down, so Elazer's starting to find some damage. We'll see if he starts at 4th behind this. Starts droning up as well, but so far SCVs are falling for Bunny, and Elazer once again with this killer instinct. Corrosive Balls almost hit those Thors, but forcing them out of the fight there. More Corrosive Balls going down to zone. SCVs have fallen, 16 in total. A siege tank is getting set up, but it's just one siege tank, and Elazer is more than happy to trade right now, it seems. These Helibats are just falling. They're doing a good job buffering, but so far damage is being done. Now, Bunny does have the upgrade advantage at this point, but he took a lot of damage. He made those 2 Thors instead of any siege tanks, so he's in a bit of a rough spot. Ravagers are moving in. Corrosive Balls are not missing. Bunny's doing a good job of dodging those so far. One of the tanks does get hit. They can't dodge. Not anymore, at least. Corrosive Ball is going to pick off another tank. Elazer just trading out at this point, it seems, but this attack may end here. Bunny doing a good job microing, getting up more of these Hellbats. These Thors are still at a lot of health, so Elazer, as far as really killing Bunny here, I don't think he's going to get too much, but he's done plenty of damage. He's got his 4th base up, which has been building, so as long as he's safe at this point, and doesn't take too much damage from something like a counter double Thor drop, I think he should be fine. Bunny, even starting Cyclone's really worried about this push, and Elazer, one of these guys who will just keep going and going, is now continuing on with this attack. He's got his 1-1 started, so he's down on the upgrades still. He's got to look out for this double Thor drop as well. He could easily lose a base to this, and that really puts him in a worse situation. Corrosive Ball may actually be able to pick off this command center. It's so weak, but he doesn't quite get it. He may go in and pick it off with another attack. However, these tanks are actually pretty exposed here. Queens have come for Elazer. He really goes all the way here. These tanks are going to fall. Bunny counterattacking here, getting damage done, but I don't think it's going to equate to what has happened here. These roaches are actually getting transfused by these queens that march forward. Supply-wise, Bunny is down. Those supply depots falling. These Ravagers are going to get in. The first tank is going to go down there. These Ravagers are very weak, though, so Bunny may just hold, but transfused from the queens. A few reinforcements are coming forward. The Thor drop for Bunny, though, is going to put a timer on Elazer here. He's not really doing anything to stop it. He's got 4 roaches, but that's not enough here. They're just going to die if they run forward, and they will. More roaches are reinforcing, but at Bunny's natural, that's a different story. If Elazer manages to break him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Is Bunny going to be able to bring this back here? That would be absolutely insane. This Thor drop still finding damage. 26 drones have died to these Thors so far. Bunny playing fantastic. This Thor drop, I mean, it's the kind of thing that you have to be wary of, and damage-wise, Bunny, he just did the counter damage. Elazer no longer up on supply. He was up like 60 supply at one point. These queens are burrowed up at the front there. The missile turret's building. That's going to be the end of their days, I believe. Yeah, both those queens can get seen. Elazer may decide to continue on with this. I mean, if there's a guy who will ever just go and keep going, it is Elazer, but he made the choice to try and kill Bunny, and he didn't get it done there. Now, the Thors have come back, but they'll have to be repaired. And these tanks are at a position, we see Elazer, he's trying to make more Ravagers, but he can afford literally just 1. And with all this buffer, I don't know if he's going to be able to break Bunny, but he's going for it. Once again, Burrowed Roach is actually coming from behind. I forgot about that Burrow, and he snipes the 2 tanks. He's going to get the 3rd as well, and with that, that is just a massive blow against Bunny there, and I think Bunny could just have been caught out by that. Elazer with the Burrowed Roaches, that sort of ace up his sleeve, bringing it back. He's now diving on top of these Thors. The first one goes down. Bunny's kept him alive so long. One of those Thors that's so many kills, but Elazer going up 2-0 versus the second Korean in Afreeca world. I mean, second Korean Terran, I should say. He managed to go up 2-0 versus Alive in the last Afreeca world. We'll see if he's able to close this one out easier, though. The next map's going to be Neon Violet Square. So we shall just have to see. Bunny's going to have to fight to bring it back. So far, Elazer, though, looking good. I mean, the other players in this tournament are very good, too, but if Elazer can beat Bunny, that's a pretty strong statement. Fantastic play so far, and I mean, we do have a bit of a history in Afreeca World. We have a lot of tournaments that can be pretty clean sweeps with one player coming in and dominating, but it's not over just yet. Bunny is going to be able to try and fight his way back here. But just making sure both of these guys are ready, and then we'll be getting on into it. Okay, but here we are. It's the third game in this best of 5. It's a large map. Elazer making it work with this roach play, shutting down Bunny so far. Currently up 2-0, playing for Team Clash and representing them well. It is Elazer, the Polish Zerg. The player who's got the most Afreeca World medals by far. I think he's going for his 6th right now. The only other player who's won 2, I think, is Soul and maybe Parting, if I'm not mistaken. Now his opponent, gonna have to bring it back. He's making his debut in Afreeca World. But if he wants to keep going in this tournament, he's gonna have to bring it back. It is Bunny playing for Team Titan X. He's changing it up. He's going for the proxy racks. Was this SCV seen, though? Was that SCV seen? I don't think it was. Just barely. So, Bunny's going for a 2 racks. It's in a very daring spot, should I say. But I think it may just be the right spot because Terran's usually proxy here. So the Zerg sends an Overlord south to see it. But Bunny, just knowing the timings, oh, will he see it? I don't think he will. I don't think he's gonna. So he could be caught off guard. But the Overlord stops. That could be a big deal. Where's this SCV rallied for Bunny? Okay, it's rallied to the back, so it won't be seen. So Bunny gonna be trying to play it a bit cheeky to bring this back. Now he's making a lot of SCVs behind this, so he will likely follow this up with macro, if I had to assume. I mean, we'll see if he's able to simply just kill a Elazer or get anything done. But as far as the 2 racks opener goes like this, it's not been scouted. That's the best you can hope for. Now, these SCVs, the first SCV could be enough to tip a Elazer off. I mean, well, now that the bunker's building, Elazer does have to react. He's pulling the boys here. The first Marine is out. Another bunker gets started. And now we're going to have to see how well Bunny can micro this. The drones are forced back at this. Elazer is not targeting the other SCV here. A spine starts immediately. The bunkers are also high ground vision with the SCVs there. And now these Marines can just keep kiting back. That one bunker getting dangerously close to finishing now. Bunny does want to keep that SCV alive just in case he does force these drones off. But so far, Elazer losing drones right now. The spine could go down. Queens are on the way and so are Lings, but I think Elazer needs to break this now or never. Marines are cutting backwards. Another one reinforcing there. That SCV could go down. That would be a big pick off there. Elazer does get it, so that's really going to allow him to hold on here. There might just be enough Lings to defend, and Bunny's not really transitioning back at home. No command center has started just yet, and if Elazer manages to hold this, he'll be in a fantastic spot. He lost a few drones, but he's got the base up. He stopped mining gas, so he doesn't have a speed to punish this as quick as he'd like. Bunny gonna start a factory right away. One of the barracks is floating over. Both of them are indeed. We'll see what Bunny follows this up with, though. He's starting his command center, and Elazer is just droning up successfully. He knows he managed to hold this. Creep spread starting, and Bunny, I don't think, got the damage he needed done. He got 5 drones, which is a pretty significant number. He may be coming in looking for something cheeky. Okay, this is so smart from Bunny, but he's supply blocked, so maybe not so smart. As he's gonna try and keep this going. Just go for such an odd timing here to try and catch this up. Maybe he'll make a cyclone behind this, if I had to guess. Maybe start a starport and a cyclone. If he's gonna really go for this, we'll just have to see. No Cyclone. And he's actually starting a reactor here. But so far it's just constant marine production from Bunny. Elazer not scouting though. He doesn't really have this Overlord in position there. That one marine doing enough to keep it out. And look at this. This is so smart from Bunny. He's landed the barracks once again here. The third base is going to be vulnerable for Elazer. He's not making lings. You hold this. You know the timings. You know the Terran's got to get up a factory or something. But Bunny is just coming in once again with this. This time he's got more Marines, and I think he's going to be able to cancel the third base, which is a nice pickoff. I mean, maybe if he waited a bit longer, he could have gone for a kill with these slow Marines. But he may just be able to come in now. There's no transfuse on this spine. These lings don't have speed. But Bunny not committing there. Is forced back, but Elazer getting supply blocked there. That really threw him off. That is just Bunny. I mean, that's making me a big fan of him so far, and he's still making these Marines here. It's just going to be mass slow Marines. Hellions are supporting now. He's got the two bases up. Making an armory. Okay, so it's going to be a Marine Hellbat push. And Elazer so far, no roaches on the way. No Baneling Nest. I mean, versus slow Marines, a Baneling Nest would be pretty good. Bunny's coming in. Does he have a scan to clean up this creep here? He will now. But he's not diving in. He is going to dive on the creep at this point. Cleaning that up. Having good faith that Elazer didn't make a big swell of lings. Speed is going to be just finishing up here. These barracks are now floating over. A Banshee started up here. The Hellbats, or the Hellions, are actually flying on in. The armory is going to be finishing up in just a second here. And with those 4 Hellbats, that's going to make all the difference in the world. There's no more spine. I think Bunny may just be able to pull a fast one here. Not even transforming just yet, but Elazer taps out. Bunny, with another odd timing to follow this up. Staying alive in this series. Taking Elazer's map pick. So a very well played by Bunny there. We'll get into the next map, which is Backwater. But so far we haven't seen any major late game or either of the players really go for it. Elazer is a player who can be aggressive. Bunny so far has tried to go for the more standard Terran timings. I mean, proxy 2 racks, but that may be the sort of thing that is just so fine-tuned. It will only work for a player like Bunny versus someone like Elazer. I mean, if you went and tried that on ladder, there's a good chance that the Zerg would just be counter all-inning you. I suppose the Zerg could have just, if you were at a lower level, would have just made so many more lings and then just shut that down because he'd have kept mining speed. But that was just such a smart build from Bunny, bringing that back. That's just, I love that. Elazer didn't scout that out. If he had scouted that out, he'd be in a much better situation. Thank you to everyone who's tuned on in so far. We're going to get on into the next map. It's going to be game number 4 here of this Afreeca world. Now, he's still got a ways to go, but he did a good job bringing it back with that sort of cheeky play. It is Bunny for Titan X. And his opponent playing for Team Kilash. It is Elazer. I mean, I think Elazer probably just has to... That's got to be one of those builds that make you love StarCraft, even if you're on the receiving end. Okay, maybe Elazer's a little bit frustrated, but just the genius of that from Bunny. I mean, we might have seen something like that once or twice before, but I just love that every time I see it. Anything like that in which a player just sort of double commits like Bunny or just hits such an odd timing. It's one of those things that's like, that was cool. And it's even cooler based on the fact that it worked. So build-wise, no proxy racks this time around. Now, Backwater is a map in which Terrans can be very safe with that third base. So, same build coming out of Elazer, and he was going for the same build before he got too Rexed. Bunny going for the Reaper here. Double Queen on the way for Elazer here. Standard stuff here. There's not much to say at this point. Bunny is following it up with that Marine. Some Terrans do, some Terrans don't. A lot of Koreans do, just to sort of check that box to be safe. Reactor started. Reaper's coming in. We'll see if he's able to get anything done. The dance waltzed 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. Oh, a Ling may go down. Bunny does get a Ling nicely done there. That's really all you can ask for. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down and now comes in at the third base. Queen is already moving there to intercept for Elazer, but Bunny actually changing things up. Gonna be diving into the main base there. Gonna confirm the speed. We'll see Elazer. Oh, actually may just get a drone. Elazer, good save though. You ain't gonna get Elazer with one of those. Elazer, well, okay, pardon me, never mind. He does lose a drone. Good save on the first one, not quite on the second one. That was a very smart play by Bunny. Sort of pulling Elazer out of position there. This Reaper gonna return home now. Then eventually be backed up by his Hellion friends. Stim pack on the way here for Bunny. We'll see what he does with the starport. Going for the Vikings, so I mean it's backwater, so we'll likely see a third base relatively soon. As a result, since Terrans have started making Vikings a lot, Zergs have tended to keep their second overlord back at home, even more so. Reaper dives into the third base, doesn't see too much. But this Viking is going to pop out. We'll see where he's heading. Stim on the way. We'll likely see another barracks or two thrown up, but a reactor as well. Third base is on the way for Bunny first, so playing it very greedy, so to speak. I mean, Wall-off not finished. Is that supply depot in the right spot? Is that solid? Okay, that's probably solid, right? Yeah, is it? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Bunny is the pro, not me. Maybe it's for a something else, but we'll see. So a Bunny standard Terran follow-up. This is what we like to see. The double eBay. Not taking any chances, putting them in his main base. Doesn't want to run the risk of losing those, but Elazer, the Zerg with the killer's instinct, going for that Nidus Worm there, and Bunny, I don't think he's going to be able to scout this. Queens are on the way for Elazer. Roach Warren is going to be on the way, so he's going to be able to make a few roaches. With all the Queens and the Lings, this could be tough for Bunny here. He's keeping the Hellions back at home, but Elazer is making one Marine. I mean, Bunny, pardon me, is going to make one Marine. By the time this Nidus hits, oh, actually, this Viking could go down. Elazer may just have to settle for a Ling Nidus, but there's actually nothing to stop these Lings from getting in and just throwing it right in his face. It's not going to be as ideal of a position, but look at this. The Lings are going to get in. The Nidus starts. Bunny certainly knows this is coming, but can he do anything about it? SCVs are going to have to be pulled for Bunny if he wants to hold this. Does he even notice it? He's busy microing versus the Lings. No SCVs are pulled. The Nidus is going to finish. And everything unloads, and I think Bunny's just dead. Look at all these roaches exactly on the production. I mean, that was just sort of a Hail Mary placement by Elazer, but it worked. SCVs are pulled, but more are going to need to be pulled from the natural. He's trying to focus down the Nidus, but it's not enough. GG gets called. Elazer going to take the 3-1.